the black cube, tefillin, and what the Bible actually meant. When the Torah says in passages like Deuteronomy 6 verse 8 and Exodus 13 verse 9 that God's word should be a sign upon your hand and frontlets between your eyes, the meaning was never about literally strapping a leather box to one's arm or forehead. Instead, it reflected the Hebrew style of metaphor, the idea of internalizing God's words, keeping them present in thought, and allowing them to shape actions. In Hebrew culture, the eyes represented the mind, the focus of thought. To have God's word between your eyes meant to keep the mind fixed on what is holy and clean, resisting wandering thoughts of idolatry, impurity, or violence. In the same way, the right hand represented deeds and actions. To bind God's commands on the hand meant living with integrity, purity, and obedience, where daily work and habits reflected faithfulness. This aligns with the social and hygienic realities of the ancient Near East. In biblical times, the left hand was commonly used for unclean tasks such as washing after using the bathroom, while the right hand was reserved for eating, greeting, and holy acts. Thus, the instruction symbolized that the clean hand, right hand, was to be kept pure for service to God, and that holy deeds should not be mixed with impurity. The shift toward literal boxes. Later Jewish traditions, particularly after the Babylonian exile, developed practices that turned these metaphors into physical rituals. The Tefillin, phylacteries, emerged, small black leather boxes containing Torah verses strapped to the forehead and arm. These were never commanded by Moses. They appear as a later rabbinic interpretation that turned metaphor into physical ritual. The choice of a black cube form is significant. Nowhere in the Torah does God require a cube or a black object. The cube form reflects an interest in sacred geometry and mystical symbolism that became common in post-biblical Jewish mysticism and later Kabbalah. The cube represents order, structure, and hidden power. Its appearance in religion is not uniquely Jewish. It surfaces in multiple cultures, suggesting it has mystical rather than biblical roots. The black cube across cultures. The most famous cube in world religion is the Kaaba in Mecca, the black stone cube central to Islam. Muslims believe it was built by Abraham and Ishmael, though history suggests that the Kaaba's cube shape and the black stone had pre-Islamic, pagan Arabian roots. Pilgrims circle it in ritual devotion, much like Jewish men bind the black cube to their bodies in daily ritual. Beyond Judaism and Islam, the black cube appears in other mystical traditions, including Gnostic and occult practices, where it represents Saturn, the planet associated with time, law, and death. In esoteric thought, the cube is seen as a prison of matter, a constrainer of spirit, very different from the biblical vision of God's living word written on the heart. The cube in modern culture and film. what the Bible really taught. The Bible never commands the use of a cube, nor leather straps, nor physical objects bound to the body. Instead, it stresses the inner life of holiness. Between the eyes, keeping the mind and thoughts fixed on God's ways. On the right hand, ensuring daily deeds are pure, honest, and not mixed with unclean practices. Cleanliness separating holy actions, right hand, from impure tasks, left hand, reflecting both hygiene and morality. The cube, the straps, and the external ritual all distract from the point. God desires inward purity, not mechanical ritual. Historical takeaway. The Tefillin cube is not a biblical command, but a rabbinic tradition rooted in mystical symbolism. The black cube has parallels in Islamic, Kaaba, and even occult traditions, showing it as a broader mystical symbol, not a uniquely biblical one. God's intent was spiritual and ethical, clean thoughts, clean deeds, and a life of purity. Turning this into a ritual of boxes and straps reflects later mysticism rather than the original word.